What's up guys, Thomas from FT Speed. Today we're installing some of the new Maxton products on the white Supra. So you've probably seen our red Supra already, and you haven't seen it for a while because it's kind of stuck in Chicago because we sent it over there to get tuned before the whole Corona thing. Now it's kind of stuck. And we haven't really talked much about the white Supra, and this one's really more set up for the track. It's done a bunch of track days before everything kind of shut down. So let's go a little quick breakdown first before we install the Maxton stuff. Kind of give you a gist of what's been done so far to the white Supra. So starting in the back, we have a AFE cat bag, and actually it had a muffler, but they took it off to make it louder because track day, bro. We got Titan 7 TS5 wheels in machined black. They're an 18 by 10.7 with a plus 38 offset, and then we have a square tire setup with two 75/40 18 tires on them. It's sitting on Silver's Neo Max coilovers. Then in the interior, we've got some Sparco fixed back racing seats that are pretty lightweight, and we also have a Cusco harness bar behind them. Now, for the stuff that we're gonna be installing today, we actually have two front lips. We have a V3 and a V2. We'll get into that later, but we also have a side skirt. We've got a gurney flap and a Vortex generator, as well as rear spats. So we're gonna be installing all those today to show you what it looks like, and then we'll give you a little showcase of it all put together. So up front, we have one lip installed already. This is the V3, and it's a lot more minimalist lip. It doesn't, you can see it doesn't really stick out. Like it sticks out an inch here, maybe 2 inches there, and it doesn't extend all the way to the ends of the bumper either. Very minimal, just a nice accent. However, it is available in a red, and that red pops. So the very small, thin lip accent would be pretty big in a red color. So aside from the lip, that's the only one we're really gonna be drilling into the Supra because I wanna keep the holes in the Supra down to a minimum because we're just showing you and test fitting what these look like. So with the rear spats, the gurney flap, the rest of the stuff, the side skirts, and the Vortex generator, I'm just gonna be applying 3M. That's gonna hold on just fine for what we're doing. And then we'll take this over next door and get some cool shots. Now the stuff about Maxton is that they have all their stuff like 3D scanned. Everything's like perfect fit. Every little nut and bolt, they have like a divot part that goes right over it, but that's the spot you're supposed to drill. Like everything looks factory fit. Also, you gotta remember to take off this film. If you don't, like sometimes it's on there really well and it kind of looks like it's made to be there, but it kind of has a dull finish. If you see a dull finish, it's probably a film because there's this nice gloss underneath it. So this here is the Vortex generator they're gonna be throwing on. And what I was saying about their stuff being molded to the car, you can even see they have like a raised up portion here that fits perfectly with this roof brake light. Now another thing about Maxton is these are TUV certified, so if the country you live in requires that to modify your car or you just want that level of certification in your parts, Maxton has their parts certified, so yay for that. All right, now back underneath the car, we got the V3 lip on. Before I take this off, I just wanted to show you real quick how phenomenal the fit is on this. Like everything's 3D scanned, of course, so that's why it fits so nicely, but you can't really get the placement wrong. On like other lips, you kind of have to guess, make sure it's even on both sides. This one just fits, like you know that it's on the right way. But I'm gonna pull this off and we're gonna be putting on the V1 lip. I misspoke earlier, said it was a V2, it's definitely the V1. So we got our V1 lip on the table here. Each one of these little divots here are matching spots for hardware underneath the bumper. They're assorted of there's like 3 of these TX30s, Torx Bix heads you need to take out, and the included hardware in these lips are the same thread pitch, just a little bit longer because we're adding the thickness of this lip here. The rest of them are these pop clips, and the pop clips you can just take out easily. There's already a hole drilled through the bumper, so you don't need to add another hole. But what you need to do is we're going to be putting a nut on the top, which means you need to undo. There's some 8mm screws that are holding on the bumper together, so you're going to slide your hand once you've got those 8mm bolts undone, so we can put a nut on the top side of the underneath of the bumper to hold that on. So for right now, let's go ahead and peel off this this coating. Let's go ahead and drill the center of each one of these circled divots. All Maxton's lips are basically the same. They call for a 6mm drill bit, but that's about 1/4 inch, so that's what we're going with. If you flip the lip upside down, there's actually a divot, like a center mark on these little circles, so we're gonna go with that. Now in the instructions, they state that if there's 3 centimeters between the spot that you've drilled and the edge of the lip, you need to use glue, but we're not going to use glue because we always use 3M adhesive on lips. So we're going to use a strip of 3M adhesive all the way around the end. Remember that this is the side that shows, so it's going to be right after this little incline here. That's where we're going to put the strip all the way down on both sides. All right, so the easiest way to make sure that you're centered and aligned, especially if you're doing this by yourself, it's molded pretty well to know that it's fitted, but to make sure it's absolutely in the center, we're gonna put one of the included hardwares in the center. We're always gonna thread it in already, and that's gonna go in first, so we know that we're centered. The first 3 bolts here are the threaded ones. So the 3 in the center, those bolts are very easy to get in since they're already threaded from the factory. The rest of them are going to be a little bit more tricky. To make it as easy as possible for you to slip your hand in there and get the hardware in, it is a really good idea to take these panels off. There's 1 on each side. They're held in by 8mm screws. There's also 1 in the center you need to take out. And then when we put the hardware in, we're going to use the nut with a washer, stick that up in there, and then slide a washer on the top, and then finally screw a nut in the top. The nut on the top is a 10mm, and you can just tighten that down. We're going to do that for all the holes that we just drilled. Now at this point, we have all the hardware installed and then that 3M adhesive, and the side is not going anywhere. I don't think this is gonna fall off on highway speeds, definitely not. I don't think it'll flap around either, but there's 1 more hole we need to drill, and we're leaving this to the end so we have everything perfectly aligned, because this is going to be a permanent hole in the bumper. We've used pre-existing holes so far, so if you wanna go back to stock, no one would ever know you had a lip installed. But this is gonna be the only hole. Granted, I don't think they're gonna notice this hole anyways. If you're not okay with drilling a hole in your Supra, then this is gonna hold, but to do the full install, we're gonna do 1 more hole here just for the added security of this thing if you're gonna go super fast. I mean, these cars are pretty quick, but 1 more hole here, 1 more on the side, and we're gonna be done. So there you have it. That's the Maxton kit on the Mark V Supra. It fits great and it looks good. We did all the gloss black stuff. However, there are some available in red, which also looks pretty spectacular. The fit, installing these, Maxton uses, like, if there's pre-existing hardware, they'll use those holes so you don't have to drill holes, which is amazing, which is the opposite of like every eBay lip you're gonna find. So the front lip, we only had to drill 2 holes. You only have to drill a couple holes for the rear spats and for the side skirts as well. So that's great. If they have holes, they'll use them. Thank you, Maxton. Now, if you're looking to pick up some sweet Maxton stuff for your car, whether that's a Supra or an FRS BRZ or 86, it's on sale right now using code STAYHOME12. You can use that code for other stuff, other goodies that you get on the website too, but the code's not gonna last forever, so make sure you get your stuff soon. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to send us an email at sales@ftspeed.com, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Now at this point, we have all the hardware installed on the This is pretty tight. However, if you're God damn it, how do I say this? The 3M around all the edges, and this,